everyone, this is Mrs. Anake with Schoolhouse Engage. Today I'm going to teach you how to divide a 3-digit dividend with the PDF printables that I've created and Easel using the box method or area method. So we have 539. We need to divide our hundreds into 4 groups. So we're just going to draw pictures. Okay, we got rid of 400, and we have 100 in each group. And I have my students actually cross it out so that they could see that was what was taken away. Now we have left over 139, and then we're going to go ahead and write that number again. Now we can't break up this 100, so we need to exchange it for 10 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now we have 13 tens that we need to divide into 4 groups. Okay, so I just divided my 13 tens into 4 groups, and I have a total of 12 tens, which is 120. And when I subtract, I have 19 left over. So I have the students cross out what they just divided. They divided a total of 12 tens. And now this 10 cannot be divided equally into 4 groups, so that is why we have to change it into 10 ones. And I just have them do small dots. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 plus 9 is 19. So we write 19 over again. And now we have to divide 19 ones into 4. Now, some of your kids that do not have their multiplication down might actually have to draw all the dots. Other kids, you could tell them, think about your multiplication 4s. Don't start at 4 times 1. Start at maybe 4 times 3. 4 times 3 is 12. And sometimes I actually have them just write it on the side. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay, 4 times 5 is 20. That's too much. We don't have 21s. We only have 19. So we have to divide those 19 ones by 4 groups, and there's going to be 4 ones in each group. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got rid of a total of 16 ones. Okay, we go cross that out. That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And we have a remainder of 3. Oh, we forgot to add how many tens we had in each group. So we have a total of 3 tens, which is 30. And we know that's correct because 4 times 30 is 120. And now we got to look at our ones. We have a total of 4 in each group. And we know that's correct because 4 times 4 is 16. Now we have to add all of that up to figure out what our answer is. And our answer is 134, remainder 3. And I always tell my students to circle that 3 so that way they remember to write it down. Something I want to bring your attention to is this problem 682 divided by 4. Now, I've had a lot of students that got this problem wrong, and I want to make sure that this is something you teach your students so that they don't get it incorrect. So we are going to multiply 100 times 4, and we're going to get 400. When we subtract, we're going to get 282. And then 4 times 70 is 280. And then I had a lot of students who actually wrote this 2 up here and got stuck and didn't know what to do, and then they got the wrong answer. So it's very important to have your students realize that when you have a remainder that's small and less than your divisor, that's your remainder. If they write 2, they need to realize that they need to multiply 4 times 0 is 0, and then they still get remainder 2. So just something to think about. Another thing I want to bring to your attention is do not tell students that whenever they're using the box method, they always have to put their hundreds first, then their tens, and then their ones. Why? Because it doesn't always work out that way. With this problem right here, I had a student who divided 738, and she actually went ahead and multiplied 5 times 80 and got 400, which is fine. Then she took her 338 and she multiplied 5 times 60 and she got 300. And then she multiplied 5 times 7 and got 35 with a remainder of 3. So when she added these all up, she got 147, remainder 3. Now this is not the way I would have done it. I would have done it, and a lot of other students did it the same way as me, where you actually multiply 5 times 100 to get 500. And then 5 times 40 is 200. And then 5 times 7 is 35 with a remainder of 3. And when we add these all up, we also get 147. So just something to think about. Don't always tell your students that they have to put the hundreds in the first place and then the tens in the second box. It's not necessarily like that. What's great about this box method is it's very flexible, and it allows students to manipulate numbers and really show what they're thinking instead of just following steps and not truly understanding what they're doing. I hope that helps. Once your students really understand the meaning of the box method and they understand how we are exchanging base 10 blocks for other numbers, you want to bring to their attention that they do not always need 3 boxes. So in this worksheet, I just have a visual image of what 214 divided by 4 looks like. So we can't divide 200s into 4 groups. So we actually exchange these 200s for 20 tens. Once we have 20 tens, we are actually dividing 20 tens plus 1. We're dividing 21 tens. So it's important that children realize that they just need to think about their multiplication. 4 times 5 is 20, and they don't really need to look at this 4. They're just dividing the tens first, and 5 tens are going into each group. When they subtract, they're going to get 14. The reason why they're going to get 14 is once they divide all of these blocks up, they're going to be left over with this tens block. So we're going to move this over, and it's going to become 10 ones. Now, if your students are a little confused, get out your manipulatives, show them exactly what you mean. You might want to do a little refresher with a few students and actually have them move the manipulatives around. So let me just show you another example. Let's say we have the problem 376 divided by 4. I can't divide my 300s into 4 groups. So I actually have to change all of these into 30 tens. And it's a little cumbersome to do this, but for some of your kiddos, they are actually going to need to see that it is 37 tens that we are dividing up. So when we divide 37 tens into 4 groups, we are going to get 9 tens, or 90 in each group. And when we subtract, we are going to have 16 ones left over. Now the reason we're going to have 16 ones left over is because we're going to be taking all of this away. This last 10, remember that we had a total of 37, so we took away 36 tens. This last 10 is going to become 10 ones. And 10 plus 6, oh, I didn't write 6, sorry about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 10 plus 6 is 16, and we are going to divide 16 ones into 4 groups, and we will have 4 ones in each group. Also, for your students who are having a difficult time, a problem like this takes some time. I would just maybe present 3, and I would have my students work this out maybe with a partner and have them realize that it's not always 3 boxes that they need to draw, that there's a lot of flexibility with the box method. When you first go into Easel, you want to click on View as Student. That way students can see what their assignment is going to look like. You also want to tell students to minimize the page just on this right-hand corner. And our problem is 357 divided by 2. So that means we first need to divide our hundreds, and we're going to divide those up into 2 groups. Okay, now right over here, we're going to write how many blocks are in each group. So we have a total of 100 in each group, and we took away a total of 200. And now we have 157 left over. So we're just going to write 157 over again. And this is what we have. Now, there is no way that we can divide this 100 into 2 groups. So we need to exchange it for 10 tens. Okay, now we have a total of 15 tens. So again, we're going to divide 15 tens. We have 5 tens on this top group and then another 5 tens down here. And then we're going to just divide them equally. Fair share division. Okay, and now we have a total of 70 in each group. 7 tens. How many tens did we get rid of altogether? How many did we take away? We took away a total of 140. And now we're going to look up here to see how much we have left. We have a total of 17 left. Now we can't divide this 10, so again, we're going to move it over here and we're going to exchange it for a total of 10 tens. And when we do that, we have 17. So now we're going to write 17 over again here, and we're going to divide our 17 ones into 2 groups. So we're going to put 5 in the first group and another 5 in the second group. And then we're going to keep going until we have evenly divided all of the ones. Okay, so now we're going to type right up here how many ones are in each group. We have a total of 8 ones in each group. How many did we take away in total? We took away 16. And we have 1 left over, remainder 1, which is up here. So we're just going to click in our answer box. The answer, 100 plus 70 plus 8 is 178, and we have a remainder of 1. Okay, let's take a look at example B. Again, in Easel, I want to click on View as Student. And notice that I'm taking to the first problem A. I want to go to problem B, so I'm going to click down here. and I'm going to minimize my screen so students can see what I'm doing. So I have 539, and I'm dividing it into 4 separate groups. So I'm going to take my hundreds, and I'm going to put them in each group. So I just took away 400, and I have 100 in each group, and what I have left over is 139. So I'm going to write that number over again, 139, because I know it's something I need to divide, but I can't divide this 100 into 4 groups. So I actually need to exchange it for 10 tens. So I'm going to click on each 10. And what's great about Easel, if you hold down the shift button, and this is something you're going to want to teach your students, if you hold it down, you're able to click all the tens, and that way they could just be moved over all at once. So now I have a total of 13 tens that I need to divide. And you always want to remind students that when you see 139, that 1 and that 3 is going to mean 13 tens. We don't have to worry about dividing the ones yet. So sometimes I tell students to cover up the 9 and just worry about dividing 13 into 4 different groups. So we know that 13 divided by 4 is going to be 12 with 1 left over. But for some of your kiddos, they are actually going to need to physically divide each and every one of these. But for time, I'm going to just pull them over here. Oops, I pulled one too many over there. And again, I'm going to move this over. All right, so now I have 3 tens in each group, which is a total of 30 in each group. I got rid of 120, and now I have 19 left over. And just have students make sure that they're looking up here to realize that there's 19 left over. This 10 needs to move over here, and we need to exchange it for 10 ones. So we can just move these pieces over that are already in groups of 2. So we moved over 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So now we have a total of 19 ones. So we're going to plug in 19 over here, and now we're going to divide 19 ones into 4 separate groups, which is going to be a total of 16 that we are taking away. So let me just minimize that. So there will be a total of 8 in each group. Now I know as adults we find this very cumbersome, but for some of your kiddos, they actually are going to need to divide all of these up, actually get it in their mind what division truly is. So we have, oh, 1 too many in that group. So we should have 4 in each group. All right, there we go. Oh wait, oops. Okay, that shouldn't be there. So we have 4 in each group, and we have a total of 16 that we took away, and we have remainder 3.